Have you ever been ghosted, left on read, or felt like a woman just isn't interested in you? Brace yourself for a truth bomb. Women can be made to miss you. Yes, even the ones who don't care right now. But before you jump to conclusions, this isn't about manipulation or some creepy mind games. It's about understanding human nature and flipping the script, making her realize just how important you are without even trying too hard. Sounds impossible? Think again. There's a hidden side to attraction, and most men ignore it. They chase women endlessly, only to push them further away. Here's a harsh reality. Being too available and too eager is a surefire way to get ignored. You've probably heard the phrase, people want what they can't have. But when it comes to relationships, this rings even truer. In the age of instant gratification, the thrill of the chase is still alive and well. When a woman sees that you're not always accessible or bending over backward to please her, you instantly become more desirable. It's a psychological phenomenon. People crave what they think they can lose. And here's the kicker. This technique works on any woman, no matter how uninterested she seems. In this guide, we'll dig deep into why creating distance, unpredictability, and maintaining your self-worth is the key to making her miss you so much. She'll start to wonder how she ever let you slip away. It's not about manipulation, but about creating a shift in perception. You'll learn to break free from the nice guy trap and harness the power of emotional scarcity. She'll miss you not because you're playing games, but because you've become someone she genuinely values. So, get ready to take notes, because this is the blueprint to turning the tables in your favor. Stop chasing and start withdrawing. Why pulling away makes her want you more. One of the biggest mistakes men make is constantly chasing after a woman, thinking that persistence will win her over. Guess what? It rarely does. In fact, the more you chase, the more she runs. Why? Because when you're always available, always texting, and always showing interest, she loses the natural desire to pursue you. There's no mystery, no challenge. Just you, always there, and that's boring. Here's the controversial part. Sometimes the best way to make a woman want you is to stop wanting her so badly. This doesn't mean you stop caring or ghost her out of the blue. It means you strategically pull away. You create space and let her come to you. It's human psychology. When something feels out of reach, it becomes more attractive. It's the same reason people desire luxury items or experiences that seem exclusive. By withdrawing, you aren't playing games. You're letting her realize that she doesn't have full access to you. Suddenly, she begins to wonder why you aren't texting as much, why you're not trying so hard to get her attention. This curiosity plants the seed of missing you. She'll start to question if you're losing interest, and that shift in dynamic is powerful. Women, just like men, appreciate value, and if you're too available, you inadvertently tell her you have no value. But when you pull back, you show her that your time and attention are precious. And when she feels like she might lose you, that's when the tables turn. But here's the key. It has to be genuine. Pulling away while constantly checking if she noticed won't work. You need to focus on yourself, your goals, and your life, and let her feel your absence naturally. Don't withdraw out of spite or frustration. Do it because you realize you don't need to be constantly present to prove your worth. Pulling away works because it flips the narrative. She begins to chase the feeling of having you back in her life. And once she starts wondering where you went, you've successfully made her miss you. This is the art of withdrawing. Controversial, but undeniably effective. Master the art of being unpredictable. Keep her guessing. Keep her interested. Predictability is the enemy of excitement in any relationship, and nothing kills attraction faster than becoming too easy to read. Here's where the controversy lies. To keep a woman interested and thinking about you, you need to introduce unpredictability into the dynamic. Now, before you roll your eyes, this isn't about playing childish mind games. This is about understanding the balance between stability and surprise that drives desire. Most guys fall into the trap of routine. They text at the same time every day, respond instantly, or always say the same things. While consistency can be important in some areas of life, it can make you feel overly familiar and, frankly, dull. When you're predictable, she knows exactly what to expect, and excitement quickly fades. But when you become unpredictable in the right way, she never knows what's coming, and this keeps her on her toes, engaged, and thinking about you. Being unpredictable taps into a powerful psychological principle known as variable reinforcement, a concept used in everything from gambling to video games. The idea is simple. When rewards, or attention in this case, are unpredictable, they become more enticing. If you're always available and constantly giving her attention, she'll take it for granted. But when you switch things up, giving her just enough attention to keep her interested, and then pulling back, she starts craving your next move. For example, if you normally text her every morning, mix it up. Don't text her one day. Let her wonder where you are and what you're doing. Maybe instead of texting her in the morning, you send her a random message late at night with something unexpected, like a funny meme or a mysterious, "I'll tell you something later." This small shift changes the dynamic, making her think about you in different situations, and wondering when and how you'll next interact with her. Here's a practical example. Imagine you've been texting this woman consistently, and she's starting to lose interest. Instead of doubling down on the effort to win her back, do the opposite. For a day or two, stop initiating conversation. When she finally reaches out, don't immediately respond. Wait a few hours, then send something intriguing like, "You won't believe what just happened." Now, instead of her thinking you're predictable and boring, she's caught off guard, curious, and wondering what's going on in your world. It's crucial to note that unpredictability doesn't mean being unreliable or distant to the point of frustrating her. It's a balance between keeping her guessing and being emotionally available when it counts. This isn't about manipulating her emotions in a toxic way. It's about adding that element of surprise that keeps things exciting. You want her to feel that she can never fully predict your next move without crossing into erratic or confusing behavior. Unpredictability also gives you an edge because it builds a sense of mystery around you. Women are naturally drawn to intrigue. The moment she feels like she has you completely figured out is the moment she stops thinking about you. When you remain a little elusive, just enough that she's not entirely sure what you're going to do next, you create the space for her to think about you more often. The reason this works so well is because it mirrors real life. No one wants to watch a movie where they know the ending 5 minutes in. Likewise, a woman won't be excited about someone she can completely predict. Unpredictability keeps her engaged and looking forward to what's coming next. So what's the takeaway? Be a little unpredictable. Don't follow a set script in how you interact with her. Throw in surprises, whether it's in your texts, your actions, or the plans you make. Keep her wondering, keep her curious, and watch how her interest in you starts to grow. Scarcity creates value, how limited contact triggers emotional longing. There's a reason why people are drawn to rare things, whether it's a limited edition sneaker, a rare gemstone, or even a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The same concept applies in relationships. When something or someone is always available, its value diminishes. But when access becomes limited, suddenly, it becomes more desirable. Scarcity creates value. This principle works in the emotional world just as effectively as it does in the material one. Think about this. Ever notice how you tend to miss people more when they're not around? Maybe you've experienced this with a friend who moves away or a partner who's suddenly too busy to hang out. The less time you spend with them, the more you find yourself thinking about them. That's the power of scarcity at play. When a woman has constant access to your attention, your presence loses its impact. But when you're not as available, when you limit your contact, she begins to crave it. Women, like anyone else, value what they feel might be slipping away. If you're constantly texting her, calling her, and always available to meet up, there's no urgency for her to miss you. You're always there, like background noise. But if you scale back and reduce the time you spend interacting with her, you create space for her to feel your absence. And that space is exactly where emotional longing takes root. Let's be clear. This doesn't mean you should vanish or play hard to get in some exaggerated manipulative way. This is about balancing your availability so that when you do give her your attention, it feels meaningful. When your contact becomes something she has to earn or look forward to, it becomes more valuable in her mind. On the flip side, think about a time when you've overinvested in someone, giving them too much of your time and energy, only to have them lose interest. It's frustrating, but it's also a reflection of human nature. What we have too much of, we start to take for granted. The truth is, creating scarcity triggers emotional longing, and emotional longing is what makes someone miss you. By controlling how much access she has to you, you automatically increase your perceived value. She'll begin to think about you more often, and her emotional attachment will grow in the space you leave behind. Focus on your own life, why being busy and unavailable drives her crazy. Let's be brutally honest here. Too many men make the fatal mistake of putting women at the center of their world. You drop everything for her, rearrange your schedule, and bend over backward just to get a glimpse of her attention. But here's the harsh truth. This kind of behavior doesn't make her respect you. It doesn't make her miss you. It makes her see you as someone with no life, no ambition, and no value. It's time to wake up. If you're always available, always texting, always planning your day around her, she's not going to see you as a high-value man. She's going to see you as someone desperate for her approval. And desperation, my friend, is the fastest way to kill attraction. You think that by making her the center of your universe, you'll somehow win her over? Think again. Women aren't attracted to men who put them on pedestals. They're attracted to men who have their own lives, goals, and ambitions. The moment you start focusing on your own life, your career, your passions, your self-development, you automatically become more attractive. Why? Because suddenly you're not chasing her. You're chasing something bigger than her. You're not waiting around for her to fill a void in your life. You're busy filling it yourself. And here's the kicker. When you're truly busy and unavailable, she will start to wonder where you are, what you're doing, and why you're not glued to her side anymore. Stop wasting your time being her emotional crutch or backup plan. She doesn't respect that. If you're constantly waiting on her call, checking your phone every 5 minutes to see if she replied, you're doing it wrong. You should be too busy with your own goals to even notice her delayed response. She should feel like getting your attention is a reward, not a given. Here's the wake-up call. You need to focus on yourself. Get your life in order. Start hitting the gym, building your career, pursuing hobbies that fulfill you. When you become the best version of yourself, not only will she start noticing you more, but other women will too. You'll exude confidence and purpose, qualities that are naturally attractive. Stop making her your world. Be a man who has his own world, and invite her into it when you choose. That's how you get her to miss you, by showing her that you don't need her to complete your life. You're already complete. The power of detachment. How not caring too much makes you irresistible. Here's a pill that might be hard to swallow. Caring too much about her approval is killing your chances. If you've been obsessing over how to make her like you, overthinking every text and constantly wondering where you stand, stop. You're giving away all your power. Women can sense neediness a mile away, and when you care too much, it becomes painfully obvious. The solution? Detachment. Detachment doesn't mean indifference or pretending you don't care at all. It means you're emotionally independent. You're not basing your happiness, self-worth, or confidence on whether or not she's interested in you. You're in control of your emotions, not at the mercy of her whims. Men who master detachment become irresistible because they exude confidence, calm, and self-assuredness. You're not chasing validation from her, or anyone for that matter. Why does detachment work? Because the less emotionally invested you are in getting her approval, the more you appear in control of your own life. People want what they can't easily have, and that includes emotional investment. When she senses that you aren't desperate for her attention, or over-the-top eager to please, she'll start to wonder why. That curiosity turns into attraction because, let's face it, women are drawn to men who stand on their own 2 feet and don't crumble at the first sign of rejection. Here's the truth. Women don't want someone who makes them their whole world. They want someone who has their own world and allows them to be a part of it. When you're detached, you're not reactive. You're not constantly checking your phone, sweating over a delayed reply, or chasing after her attention. Instead, you're cool, calm, and collected. She feels that energy, and it pulls her in. Men who are detached also tend to be more confident in their actions. They don't overanalyze every interaction. They're okay with whatever happens because they know they'll be fine either way. This level of emotional self-control is magnetic, and when she starts to feel like you could walk away at any moment without batting an eye, that's when she starts missing you the most. In this guide, we've covered 5 controversial yet effective strategies to make any woman miss you, even if she's not initially interested. By pulling away, introducing unpredictability, creating scarcity, focusing on your own life, and mastering detachment, you shift the power dynamic in your favor. The key is to stop chasing her approval and instead become the man she wants to chase. These strategies aren't about playing games. They're about understanding attraction and human psychology. Remember, it's not about manipulating her feelings, but about becoming someone she genuinely values. When you focus on building yourself, maintaining your self-worth, and creating space for her to miss you, she'll start thinking about you more than ever before. Take these lessons, apply them, and watch how the dynamic changes in your favor. Thanks as always for watching, and always remember to keep embracing a stoic approach to life.